Hello, this is Rob Pritz. I'm your host for this episode of Able Pathways. To join in on the conversation, please visit the Able Pathways channel on Legal Arena. The address is www.legalarena.com/Able Pathways. There you can chat with a community of hosts, guests, and listeners. Listen to or download episodes. Suggest ideas or topics you would like to hear about. Let us know what you think. Or find our blog and video blog posts and our newest shows.
You are on the road to independence. Able Pathways is here to help you navigate the journey.
Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Able Pathways. Tonight we have a guest from Poughkeepsie, New York on, and I would like to welcome Ashley Coyne to the Able Pathways Airways tonight. Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell our listeners a bit about who you are, and then we can go from there?
My name's Ashley, and I have Cystic Fibrosis, which is a breathing and digestion illness that affects me every day of my life. I was born with it. I take enzymes every day to digest my food, and I do breathing machines with different antibiotics to help with lung infections that I get consistently. Did you have any questions for me, Rob?
Let's just start to talk and see where this takes us. And I want to make sure that we feature your singing passion and singing career, while giving a shout out to Able Pathways producer Vince Siskel. How long have you known him?
As far as the singing, I love to sing, and I'm actually taking steps towards getting into the singing career. And it also helps with my breathing because it clears my lungs for the cystic fibrosis. And I am an aide for Vincent Saskel. That's how I know Vince.
Cool. How long have you worked with him?
I've almost been working with Vince, I believe, almost 2 years now. We're very close and have a lot in common, and he helps me through my hard times also.
Yep, and does it help to almost have someone to understand kind of the issues that you're going through?
Yes, it helps a lot because even though we both have two different, I wouldn't call yours illness, different disabilities, we have a lot in common because we're limited in certain ways.
Okay. Alright, tell you what, I would like to talk about your singing and then move and truly talk about your relationship with Vince as two people on the road of independence. You said something that caught my attention, that your singing actually helps you deal with cystic fibrosis. How did you find that out?
The reason that singing helps with the cystic fibrosis is because it helps clear my airways as I sing. It brings up with cystic fibrosis, you have thicker mucus in your lungs, which makes it difficult for you to breathe. So as I sing, it helps bring it up and get it out of my lungs, and it also helps me cope and with my illness. You know, I enjoy singing.
But my question is, when did you realize it helped you with your singing? What was your key point where you realized I'm doing better because of this?
I've been singing for a while now, so I guess probably a few years ago I realized, and just I feel better after I sing. I feel clearer, and it just helps with the cystic fibrosis.
Have you talked to any other person with cystic fibrosis or stuff, or a professional about that?
No, I'm actually going to start doing lessons for the singing and the guitar, because Vince and I have a private party with one of his friends for an anniversary that I'm supposed to sing at, so I'm going to be practicing for that.
No, but that's not what my question was. Meaning, have you talked to a professional about your singing helping your cystic fibrosis?
Well, my doctor says that it helps clear my airways, so he says for me to keep singing, keep doing that.
So, I want to apologize for hitting upon this. I just find it fascinating because it's not that often that you find a queer path that can help someone improve the disability at the same time.
Right.
So, cool. So do you sing at bars, nightclubs, or are you just doing karaoke and working from there?
I sing at karaoke nights, sometimes at the Dubliner, around, current bars in the Mid-Hudson area, and Cystic Fibrosis walks. Sometimes if they have dancing and singing at the end of the walks, I'll do it there. I'm not very shy, I'm outgoing, so I just sing wherever, wherever they'll hand me the mic, I'll sing.
So, what type of music do you sing? What's your favorite artist?
I like all types, but I especially like country.
Okay, alright. And who's your favorite country singer?
Can you repeat that?
Who is your favorite country singer?
What is my favorite
country singer? Whose music do you enjoy to sing the most?
Country. Basically country, because it has the most singing in it.
I know, but which artist do you like the most?
I'm really bad with names.
Okay.
Adele.
Alright.
I like some of Kelly Clarkson's songs. I can't think.
That's okay, but other than singing, what else do you do?
Like any ordinary girl, shop and things like that. Singing's my thing, and I dance also, actually. I used to be a DJ assistant for one of the DJs in the Hudson Valley, and I used to lead all the dances, Cotton Eye Joe, Macarena, and Electric Slide and things like that. And that also keeps my lungs clear because when I'm moving around a lot, it helps too. So dancing and singing.
So I see that it helps you with your cystic fibrosis. What else have you done to learn about your cystic fibrosis?
Well, self-advocacy. You know, when I'm in the hospital and things like that, I usually am my own self-advocate.
And could you talk about what you mean by your own self-advocate?
I keep track of, you know, kind of what they're doing. I read the bags before they give me the IVs and things like that, and I talk to the doctors and try to keep a good understanding of my own care so that I can correct something if it needs to be, if there's something wrong.
Okay, and I want to apologize for the noise in the background. My puppy is deciding to join us on this interview, so sorry about that. But how have you learned to be a self-advocate?
Well, after being sick for so many years, once you know, the care switches over. Well, when you become a certain age, after 15 years old, actually I think it's 20, 21 years old, but you go to an adult doctor instead of a kid's doctor, and instead of like my mom ordering all my meds and, you know, going to the pharmacy and doing everything for my cystic fibrosis, started doing it on my own. I've been moved out for years now since I was like 17, and so I had to learn how to take care of myself and, you know, correct things and keep myself healthy. And I have Medicaid, which I had to fight for, and disability, which I fought for 3.5 years. They told me I wasn't disabled and was too young for it. Vince helped me with that. I got that last year. So just a lot of pushing.
Yes, a lot of pushing, and I understand exactly. But how did you become an aide to Vince?
Well, I've been working with Unlimited Care since '07, but I moved home about 3 years ago. And
what is Unlimited Care?
What is Unlimited?
Oh, Unlimited Care is a self-home care agency, and they set up so people can stay at home instead of in the hospital and have the aides come to them. So I'm a PCA, also a PCT, patient care technician. So I come to Vince every day to help him, you know, get out of bed and, you know, ready for the day.
Okay, cool.
Can I jump in here? I'm getting
yes.
Ashley's doing a wonderful job, and like I said, we've met about 2 years ago, and it just seemed to click, and she does fantastically well, and we do help each other out from a self-advocacy standpoint. She gives me pointers and ideas, and hopefully I'm able to do that with her. So we kind of, you know, we're going through grinding through the mill of the system together, and it really helps both of us, especially me, because to have that kind of support and first-hand understanding is very important.
I mean, I can understand that completely. You guys are definitely on the opposite ends of the age spectrum. But
I guess so, Rob. Thanks for that.
Oh, I thought you were the younger one of the two. Sorry, Vince.
Maybe in maturity, I don't know. No, she's my angel. She really is, and to even go back to Eva Sweeney's and her tribute to her age, I mean, they mean so much to us that you just can't help but just become friends, and you become your own little family, which is something that, like I said, has enhanced my life tremendously.
I mean, yes, I mean, off the air, I've came up with a few topics, but we can talk about that later.
No, go right ahead, my guy, Rob. I'll get off. I just, no problem.
No, you can stay on. I mean, I just...
I'll be quiet.
Nah, it's always nice to have part of the production staff listening in and giving us pointers. But
that's why we make the big bucks, Rob.
yes. But can you tell us more about what Vince has done to help you?
We're just very close, and we talk about things. And as far as the disability standpoint, he helped a lot. I've struggled to get disability for 3 years, and we looked over the paperwork and I got a lawyer that I had to get, and he just helped me set up everything and just a strong case so that I could get this disability that I very much needed. So that was a big part of helping me, for sure.
So now that you're on disability, what's your next steps?
Well, being on disability, I can't work very much either, so I work as much as I can with Vince because I would never want to not work for him. But I just try to stay on top of it.
So what are your goals other than working with Vince?
What am I going to do other than?
Yeah, what is your goals in life other than working with Vince?
I would say, for one, finish my associates at Duchess. I started classes there, and I have some credits. I'm 1/3 of the way through, but I get sick a lot and end up in the hospital, so it's hard to finish that. But I'd like to get at least my 2-year degree and go on to a 4-year degree. And I also want to become a country singer if possible, which I'm working towards also. So those are kind of my goals.
I'm just curious. Many people are probably asking, how can you work to stay on disability, but at the same time work to be a country star? How can you do both at the same time?
Well, with being disabled, I think that it would be difficult to be a country singer. That's why I haven't really totally pursued it, but maybe private little gigs or something I could do, and to build up my reputation.
Okay, cool. So, but if you're doing that, how will it keep you from losing your income and such?
Well, as long as I'm not making income, I guess I could do singing voluntarily, and so that I didn't make the income and didn't lose the disability. I just find it very fun, singing and dancing, so I would do it even as non-profit for special events, maybe.
Okay, I want our listeners to think about what you're saying. This is interesting because it sounds like you're living the road of independence, but you're trying to figure out how to give back to society, and you're trying to fit in to the circumstances that you have or you may not have. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely.
If I may too, Rob, I'd say, working towards a career, and then once you hopefully be able to make enough money in your chosen field that you can get off disability, it's a goal just to become more independent and less reliant on the government. And Ashley's definitely doing that and going in the right direction.
But isn't that a goal of Able Pathways to help people like Ashley get there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right.
I mean, because Ashley, I've talked to other friends and colleagues who has fought to get on disability, and it's not as easy as people think it is. And I would like to have you talk more about that process of exactly what steps you took and how you can help someone else get disability.
Well, it took a lot of documentation. For one, I had to get things together. I had to record my hospital stays, anything that really changed my meds and things like that. Maybe my health, my breathing tests, if they had changed, gotten worse or better, and just keep up on, how my health was every time I go to the doctor and record it. Any changes in my health if it's gotten worse, and just keep them very updated until you go to, see the judge. And right away the judge knew I was disabled, and I barely even had to say anything. So I guess the documentation is the most important part, because 3 years ago when I first started to try to get disability, I didn't have as much documentation, and I wasn't as sick, I don't think. And they wanted more and more. They always want more and more documentation to prove it. So I think that's the main thing.
I mean, I can imagine, because the person who I'm talking to has had to go to a few lawyers to help them through the documentation.
I think it's also a quagmire too, Rob, when you're quote unquote invisibly disabled. It's very difficult to prove that you're disabled when you don't look it and act it, if you will. So that makes the climb even harder. That's why there's so much importance on documentation, and doctors being as specifically candid as they can on what a person can and cannot do. Because if you're, as people know, if you're considered invisibly disabled, again, it's a harder road sometimes.
I mean, my other question is, when you went to the lawyers, did they help you fill out the paperwork, or did they say come back to us when it was done?
They're not very helpful, actually. Vince helped me fill out some paperwork, actually, so it helps to have somebody, I guess, at home, or somebody to help, fill out the applications and the documentation to the best of, what they want.
So what's the value of going through a lawyer, or is that just Social Security's way of making sure that the lawyers get some of the pie?
I think it was more towards just knowing that I needed a lawyer just to push it through, I guess, because I don't feel they're very helpful, but having the lawyer, there, present, helps, I think.
Because the person who I've talked to has voiced the same exact concerns you have, time and time again, and they get frustrated because the system needs to be there to help them get by.
Right.
I mean, how accepting is your family of your cystic fibrosis?
They're accepting of it. My mom had tried to help in the past, and I have a aunt who I'm very close to who also helped a lot with everything to try to get me the help and the what I needed.
What age were you when you got diagnosed?
2 days old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is cystic fibrosis a disease that can get diagnosed at any time during life?
Cystic fibrosis is a disease that can be diagnosed at any time, but you are born with it. Sometimes when the other, I know a girl who was born with it, but didn't know until she was 16 because she was so healthy with it, and then they started to realize, but it's genetic and you get the genes when you're born. It's just whether they diagnose you or not at that time. But as of now, since they've become further and further with everything, they test for it and they know basically when you're born.
I mean, it's amazing at how much technology and health has changed in the past 18, 20, 25 years.
Yes, definitely.
So, cool. So we have about 5 more minutes. Is there anything you would like to talk about, or any piece of advice you would like to leave a person in your shoes with?
I would just say always keep fighting and keep positive thoughts. That's what I try to do. Stay positive and you can push through it. And I guess always try to have people who love you and care who can help, because it's hard to do things all by yourself. Everybody needs a support group.
I mean, I would have to agree with exactly what you said. And during this show, it's been interesting. We've touched upon a lot of key elements. We've talked about how your passion in your singing is actually helping you with your cystic fibrosis, and I would encourage people to reach out and find something like that to help them, because it's up to us to help ourselves. And we have also talked about your great relationship with Vince Saskell, who's an amazing guy. But what's even better is you have learnt as much from him as he's learnt from you. And that shows you that no matter where you are on this road, you need someone to connect with and someone to walk with to go on. But the most important thing is we also have seen that applying for the basic resources to get what we need to help is difficult. And that's something that we need to talk as a community about. How to get these services when we need them, but more importantly, how not to rely on them for your entire life, and always look to give back to society, because we need people to go out and make a difference.
Definitely.
So, one last question. What's your favorite song to sing? And did you do choir in high school or grade school?
I did choir, chorus in middle school. Yeah, I did chorus in middle school, and I did take singing lessons for a little while. My mom brought me to those when I was younger, and we sang at special Christmas occasions, which was fun, the group. So, and favorite song, I have a bunch, really. I guess I just really like country. I don't really have, like, a favorite.
Okay, alright, and the question for Vince, do you have anything that you would like to say before we wrap it up?
Well, I want to just thank you very much, Rob, for having us on, and I think this is an excellent example of how the aides and patients, if you will, clients, can work together in a symbiotic relationship, and how we can grow with each other. And Ashley has done amazingly well, and I foresee an amazing future for her and whatever path she takes. But it will be the correct path, I know that.
Cool. So, I would like to say thank you both for your input, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope we can have you back.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, boss. I'll be back.
Yep, and we are wrapping it up.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.